try and test and everything. So, so first off, this is Geektastiq Siphon here on CJLO 1690 AM. I'm Doc Holiday. We're in the studio with Skinny, as you can see if you're on the live or if you're listening in. Skinny, what's up? And then in the studio with us, so we're going to try Mike first because he's on a mic that I know for a fact is 100% on.
Hello, kind sir. How are you?
Check out that top hat.
I'm good. Yeah, he's wearing a top. If you guys are watching us on live, you can also go over to... Is this shared on Squared Idea or is this going to be seen later?
It's actually shared on my Facebook currently. I'm doing live feed on that. With that lovely little camera right over there.
And then...
You can't zoom anymore on Facebook Live?
I know, right?
Fooey.
No zooming!
No zooming. And then let's try these mics right now. So first...
Dave.
Oh, see, that's what I thought. There we go. Try it, Dave.
Go ahead, Dave.
Here, testing.
Go ahead, keep talking.
Going.
Introduce yourself. On
Sing your favorite
Dave.
song.
I can't sing a tune.
Who are you, Dave?
Well, deep down. No, Dave right here. Sorry.
Deep in the pits.
Okay. And we got one more person.
This is Chris. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, Chris, you're perfect.
Good.
You're
Awesome.
coming loud and clear.
So I'm co-owner of Squared Idea and the writer and illustrator for Trinity, which we'll be talking about.
And I am the other co-owner, Mike Wilcox.
Yes, he is.
And I am currently writing a comic called The Fathom.
And I'm David Koziol. I am a co-writer of the Trinity, and that's about it.
All right, boys. I gotta say thank you so much for coming in. I'm really excited about this.
Thank
Thank you for having us, yeah.
I mean, you guys are working.
I brought Constrictor.
Skinny brought it.
Amazing.
That's right.
Skinny brought figures.
Oh,
For those of you who follow him on Instagram, he also goes by Action Figgy Skinny.
I know about many things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he has a whole bunch of, and every once in a while he just randomly just pulling out and just plop it down, which is pretty awesome. I think my favorite to date was the time you had Spectrum when you brought in Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, that was I think the
We had
first one.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah.
The other one was actually Khalil, who brought in Sergeant Slaughter while we were talking about G.I. Joe. He just randomly pulled out a perfect condition original Sergeant Slaughter and just put it down. We're like, what is going on?
He just keeps it in his pocket in case of emergency.
Yeah.
It was great. He just randomly had
He
it.
keeps him safe.
So boys, we are here because you guys are promoting an event. So I'll do that, a mini little plug for that now. But then we're going to go into DTD, and then we'll come back and continue to talk about stuff like that. So who wants to explain what's happening on the 31st?
Mike?
So I live in St. Henry right now, and there's a big, hot spot that we enjoy quite frequently. Anybody in St. Henry knows it, and it's Bar de Courcelles.
Mm-hmm.
So, my friend over here agrees with me.
I used to have a student in Fatal Law, so
Yeah,
right up the slope.
right down there.
Yep.
So, went in there, and we're going to be hosting a launch party for both the Fathom and Trinity. We set it up for the 31st because, everybody's going out on Halloween weekend, so there's no point of setting up some kind of event on the weekend because everybody is out getting tanked. So, no point.
Plus, both our comics are horror themed, so it actually
Yeah,
is
I
perfect
thought a little
bit.
about that.
I was going to say, I thought that was actually one of the original reasons because of the fact that the themes of your comic books kind of touch on, supernatural Halloween and all that stuff. I figured.
And we were always aiming around like October just because it's, the month of the Halloween
Yeah,
and whatnot.
it really is.
Yeah, and so
Spooky
since
time.
both our things just happen to be horror, we're like, let's do it Halloween night. Why not? It's a Tuesday. Well, people have a lot of things to do on a Tuesday, so...
Yeah.
And Tuesday night is usually kind of like the time where people will host events at bars. You know what I mean? So when it came down to it, it was actually perfect. And there's no hockey, so yay for us.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a huge factor.
You did your research.
Yeah.
I did my research hard.
You got anything? That's great.
Yeah. So, and what we're going to be setting it up over there. Did you want me to go into details at all? Or?
Well, no, but that's just the first introduction. We'll go to DTD, and then we'll come back. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in the later on in the show. But that's a good introduction. And then we're starting off the DTD this week. Drain Team Up Defeat. For those of you who don't know what it is you drain the powers or the essence of one character. You team up with another character, and then the last one is you defeat the last character. This one is a little bit of a dangerous game because we are doing it with directors. This one is selected by Chris. Chris, do you want to tell the people who the three options are?
I would love to. So first off, we have Joss Whedon. Then we have Mr. Zack Snyder. And to finish it off, we have the Russo brothers.
Oh, man.
All heavy hitters in the movie. world of the comics.
And for those of you who know the game, whenever we do kind of real life like people or companies, we tend to change it just a little bit. So drain means you absorb all that, like their career, their writing skills, all that stuff. Team up means they become your writing partner, and you guys create together. Defeat, though, and this is where it gets a little hard, you erase them from existence. All their projects, all their movies, TV shows, things they've directed, gone. They don't exist. So you actually indirectly sometimes might affect, chain reactions. One of the ones that we did one time was with Deadpool, and it was Nathan Fillion. And if you defeated Nathan Fillion, you actually inadvertently ended up getting rid of Deadpool, because Nathan Fillion worked with Ryan Reynolds on Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place on ABC, and that's where Ryan Reynolds kind of got his big break in the States. Because he was originally on The Odyssey when we were kids here in Canada, but Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place is where he kind of made his splash in the States on ABC. So if Nathan doesn't do that, and he doesn't work with Ryan, and that show doesn't get made, Ryan doesn't end up getting the same career. At least that's the idea.
Yeah. Okay.
The chain reaction idea of like taking, pieces out of play. So,
Butterfly effect. Right?
exactly,
There you
exactly,
Oh
perfect.
man, poor Justice League.
Yeah. So it's a dangerous game to play, but a fun one. And there's a lot of us, so I feel like we should jump right in. So guys, once again, it's Joss Whedon, Zack Snyder, and the Russo brothers.
Which one do you want to go first?
So I don't mind going first.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to start with the Drain, and I'm going to go with the Russo brothers.
Okay.
Mainly because of the fact that they did the increasingly poor decisions of Todd Margaret and Arrested Development, and I remember crying with laughter whenever I watch any of these two shows. David Cross, Will Arnett, and just the comedy was off the cuff hilarious. And instead of just draining the powers, because my comic is oriented, I'm going to say I want to eat their brains.
Not dark at all.
Yeah. So I would like to eat the brains of the Russo brothers. To team up, I'm gonna go with Snack Snyder, because Batman.
Sorry, can you say that
Say
again?
that name again? Snack.
Snack Snyder. No, Zack Snyder. Thank you.
No, I like the original. That was cool.
Well, I actually have a snack of pickles here, but no, it's Zack Snyder because of the Watchmen.
Yeah.
That for me, I think it's one of maybe 3 Blu-rays that I own.
Yeah.
It was quintessential. The second it came out, on my shelf. There was no question about it. I have a little bit of issues here with Batman versus Superman, but nonetheless, it was
Don't we
still...
all?
Yeah, but, 300, everything, so teaming up with that, I'm down.
Okay, but wait, realize that your defeat is, and I'll let you say it.
Yes.
Don't kill Buffy.
Now,
Yeah, exactly. That's
Now, you have to
Yeah.
understand. You have to understand, and you'll know this in the future because of Chris. I realized that destroying Joss over here would mean that I'm getting rid of Buffy, Angel, and Firefly.
So
Now,
much of our childhood.
And like
Yeah,
even the first
you're
Avengers
wrong.
movie.
yes,
a lot of people.
we're talking future or present, I should say. I'm talking in the past because I know that Chris was down with Angel and Buffy,
Oh, you know it.
and so I'm taking a chunk of his childhood.
Yeah.
So
God. Thanks,
I'm,
Mike.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm so sorry. So it's kind of like the less of all evils, basically, because when it came down to it, my heart goes out to Russo. I love Zach's work, and it came down to Joss for me. So I'm so sorry, buddy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go next.
Yep.
Well, for who I drain would actually be Josh Whedon, opposed to what you were saying. Only because I actually very much enjoyed Buffy and the Avengers and so on and so forth. Plus, if I'm absorbing all his work, I'm absorbing all that cash, so I wouldn't mind. Then I think I would team up actually with Zack Snyder as well, only because exactly what Mike said. Excuse me. There's a lot of work that he did that was really interesting, and at the same time, Batman, Superman was like,
Yeah.
I'd be there just like, don't rush that, take that.
Yeah.
Just make it,
Maybe guide him so it's a little bit better.
yeah, exactly. You don't need that many stories in one story.
Yeah.
But anyways, we could go on a rant for that.
Yeah.
And then, I guess the Russo brothers take the hit
Yeah.
in regards to the Destroyed.
Oh,
but
man.
to be quite honest, I would have picked Bryan Singer to be on this list, and he would have
Oh.
been hitting
Yeah, but that
that.
would have been an easy out, though.
Oh yeah, of course. But like,
I feel like we all would have been like, do we need any of those movies?
Yeah,
Now we're good.
I admit the last 2 X-Men movies were good, but the first 3, come on. I don't. Anyways, we only have an hour show.
Yeah.
All right, so
Chris?
well, I mean, Mike made it pretty obvious. I'm gonna drain Joss Whedon. I mean, that guy can write,
Yeah.
and he has done for me, especially in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's done one of the best scenes, one shots, which was the fight in New York City, where they just go from every character in one
Oh,
shot,
yeah.
and then at the end you end it with Hulk and Thor, and he just
Yeah,
punches
yeah.
him. I thought that was brilliant. I love that. To team up with the Russo brothers, man, they are doing a great job with their movies. I love Winter Soldier by far is the best Marvel movie in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would definitely team up with them, directing, writing, whatever. And unfortunately, I have to destroy Zack Snyder. Now this was painful for me because, like Mike, I love what he did with Watchmen.
Yeah.
It was a great.
But man, he is like his visuals are amazing. His story, you gotta work on the story, man. If you're
Yeah.
gonna direct the whole thing, you gotta make sure everything is on point. And story has a lot of good tidbits, but again, like they said, he's trying to bring everything into one movie, and I'm like, oh, Zach, why?
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you gotta team up, so you slap them on the wrist.
Have a little guidance and tough love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let him learn. Let him learn the hard way. No, poor guy.
Skinny. Oh, me first. Okay, so I'm draining the Russos because I respect the work they've done. I think that as a because you're kind of getting the advantage of you get 2 for 1. I don't know if I'm going to eat brains, but I do like the idea of getting both those brains together and allowing myself to create in amazing ways.
One super brain.
Yeah, exactly. And then one I can call on each one. Like, you know how usually you have your left and your right side that do different things? So I'd have like a left, but that's a full brain, and a right that's a full brain.
So you're gonna try to make like a Krang.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully end up with telekinetic powers. Also, the if I'm not mistaken, they were the ones that did that amazing episode, the paintball episode for.
Oh, for Community.
Community.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did the paintball episode of Community, and that alone.
Wait, but which one? Is it there like 3?
Yeah, I think they did the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, they did the first one, and the thing I find the most interesting about the first one is the fact that they were able to make a 21-minute episode feel like a movie.
Yeah.
That's what I found so amazing. You were able to fit the full arc of like what felt like a full cinematic story, all the action, the story, all of it in one episode. Because the first one's only is it a 2-parter? The first one? I think it's actually just one episode.
No, it's just one episode. And I think the second one's like half Star Wars, half Western. or
Yeah,
vice versa.
exactly. Yeah, the second one's the one, but the first one was just 21 minutes, and they made this masterpiece in that time. I rewatched it 3 times the first time I watched it. Like, I watched it, then watched it a second time, and a third time. And, I mean, if anything, that's another reason it probably felt that long. But it was just the detail, and that, I like that idea. And then Whedon, I'm teaming up with you, dude, because you are just amazing. I mean, working with you, if I was to put those 3 together to make anything, we're gold. I mean, we are printing money, just stacks on stacks. And then Snyder, I mean, I'm only getting rid of you because I unfortunately associate you to Batman versus Superman every time, and I try not to. And I know that's not fair because, you know, they all have things that they've worked on that haven't been that strong. But for some reason, I just can't get past seeing, like, from when we were kids, we always wanted to see live action Batman and Superman together. It's something that, like, as a kid, you're just kind of like, this would be so cool.
Do you remember that tease in I Am Legend?
Yes.
That got
The
everybody
poster?
crazy.
Yeah.
They were like, oh my god, Batman, Superman.
And it was, exactly, and that's just something it's always just been in the background of our minds of just like, how cool would it be if there was a Batman and a Superman movie? And then you did it, and you fell so short because you put way too much stuff in one movie, and that drove me crazy. I was so disappointed. And Martha? Oh,
Martha.
Why did you say? Oh God, that just made me so mad. It just made me so mad because I was like, wait, are they really doing this? And then that
There's a
honestly,
reason
though,
why it's never been.
I remember
done
always thinking that
before,
as a kid, like it's like this weird, ironic thing that their mothers are named the same. And when
Yeah.
people brought that in the movie, I'm like, ouch, that
Yeah.
didn't work out how I think they wanted
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's my answer, guys. I'm Russoing it up, and then I'm teaming up with Whedon, and then goodbye, Zachy boy. Skinny.
Where's that?
Skinny, you got something to say, man?
Because, you see, unfortunately, you and I actually have the same choices, kind of, more or less.
Oh, I'd say nothing wrong with that.
All right, so
I mean, there's like 5 of us giving answers, so I
this
feel
is
like
true, but I
yeah.
tried to keep. Okay, so I'm not gonna go with any kind of directorial knowledge,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna say I don't want the responsibility of Whedon because he did do Buffy and Angel, but that's a lot of I didn't quite like the Cabin in the Woods. I'm not too happy with that one. And the silent episode of Buffy, with those monsters that just you couldn't talk and the whole episode was silent. It was really, really creepy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not happy with that.
Yeah,
So okay.
You're like 12, yeah.
Okay, so it's messed up. All
Everybody
right.
was talking about it.
So I'm gonna drain the Russo. Just because Winter Soldier is
Yeah.
best movie.
Oh man.
Like
That movie.
the movie.
So solid.
If you tell anyone, oh no, like Marvel's not so bad, just have them watch that movie.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Team up with Whedon. Again, money.
Yeah.
Stacks on stacks.
Stacks.
But just because,
Just building, you just build mansions out of money.
Exactly.
Like that.
And you just
Like you're taking money and you're making bricks out of the money.
you can just do whatever.
That's what you want. That's all you got to do.
Exactly. And then
Horribly flammable, but still.
finally to defeat Snyder, not because of Batman v Superman.
Oh, okay.
Because I've only seen that movie once, so I've only wasted 3 hours. And I feel like I understand where he was coming from. So he was trying to do too much, but
Yeah.
he still tried. A lot of people wouldn't have gone with that kind of a Hail Mary
Yeah.
at the
Okay.
end of the movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just throw in Doomsday. Not even like Brainiac. Doomsday.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
But I think
that's
that was like
Venom.
brought in right because of what happened afterwards. I guess I can say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, true.
This show's all like we spoil
Well,
it.
alright,
Yeah.
Superman dies, right? Like
Yeah.
it can only be Doomsday. I mean,
Yeah.
couldn't have been any better. You'd have like, no, that should have been Doomsday.
No, but they could have hey, it's Brainiac, and then defeated Brainiac. Be like, you know what? We should team up, Justice League. Like,
That's true.
yeah,
They should just
and,
not
and
kill
then
Superman.
Darkseid. But wow. Anyways, so that was that. But I'm not gonna go at him for that. I'm
Okay.
going at him for that. Watchmen was a great movie. I liked it, but I didn't need to see Owl and that scene.
Oh yeah.
that was too much.
Him and I have actually talked about that scene
It's too
on the
much.
show. The sex, like when you guys when they made Watchmen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Watchmen's a great
Owl
movie,
mobile?
but the one thing that really bugged me about the movie is we cut things out of the story for time, but we extended the sex scene.
Like really.
Like really extended, because in the comic book, or in the trade, I should say, it's one panel.
Yeah, that's true.
One panel should not have equaled like a 5-minute sex scene
That's true.
compared to all the other things we had to cut for time. And we know they did that because sex sells in Hollywood. And that's one of those things that always nagged me. At the back of my mind, I was just like, I wish you'd just kind of put your foot down as a director and said, like, I know you guys want sex to sell, but there's a lot more to this story to tell, and I'm not going to use up precious time on showing Matt Ackerman, whatever her name is, naked for 3-4 minutes, because we didn't need it. I mean, if you did it exactly like in the comic book, where it's just a silhouette panel, and we get the idea, oh, his confidence is back because of the fight, and oh, his libido has. That was the whole point. That whole fight scene is his libido and his courage coming back.
Rejuvenated him.
Exactly.
He's, like, ready to go out. You know?
Exactly. And then you're just like, cool, silhouette panel, go to the next thing.
Do you think that maybe was like his intention? He was like, we're gonna go out, we're gonna kick ass, and then come back. And
Oh man,
Hey.
I know.
it was like it's like his dream.
Superhero
to do it.
Viagra. Busting heads gets me. Anyways.
Let's watch the rest of the movie.
You mean busting makes me feel good?
Oh no.
I've been waiting to do that. Those are my choices, and yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Guys, we got to get to some quick messages here at CJLO, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Okay? Okay.
Rocket.
CJLO is a podcast broadcasting out of the Loyola campus of Concordia
What?
University
Like when I'm
in
talking, I'm
Montreal,
moving my
Quebec.
head and I'm not moving
We
the mic.
broadcast at
It's like-
1690
Yeah.
on the AM dial
I realized
and have
that,
transmitter
but
with
not also,
1,000 watts of power.
Man, it's
The
already
views
23.
expressed on air do not reflect
Well, you do
CJLO.
have 5 people.
Any
Usually have
views
how many?
expressed
Like,
during the
usually
show are
three.
those of the DJ and not of
No,
the
that's
station
good.
as a whole
It's
or
fine.
its
Das
membership.
gut.
Das is very
If you
cool.
would like to find out more,
So next
please visit our
segment
website
is
at cjlo.com.
what you guys are
Thanks
reading,
for your
like one
support
title
and
each,
keep
what
listening
you
to
guys have been
CJLO
reading.
1690
And then,
AM,
talk about your
Montreal's
projects.
underground radio.
We got another 40 seconds.
Just forget, like, when you guys are talking about something that's being going on about it, like, do you guys ever, like, after the show, like, get back to start going at it? Like,
Oh, yeah, we talk
like,
about stuff after the
that
show.
or whatever.
Yeah, there's been times where, like, because I have to post the show up right away. At least I want, like, my goal is, like, the show's done, post it up online, podcast, so that it's available. People can start listening to it as of tomorrow. So then I'm always here for, like, an extra 20, 30 minutes afterwards. So then I'm like, yeah, I just take full advantage.
Would you like pickle, sir?
I know she doesn't like pickle. I feel horribly bad, but I
Does the
appreciate
smell bother you?
No. Oh, we're back. We're back. Geektastiq Cypher here on CJLO 1690 AM. At 9:39 p.m., we'll be giving away a chance to win tickets to Thor Ragnarok on November 1st. You just have to call in and give us the answer to the question. And the question is, what are... Thor Ragnarok is compiled of 2 movies. And what are those 2 movies? Those 2 comics. So it's 2 comic stories in the Marvel Universe. And the specific story, not just the characters. Like, you have to know the name of the story that they use. I mean, the title of the movie is a hint, if anything. Mm-hmm. So you pretty much only have to find the other half. Hint, cough, hint, cough. So yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing. 9:39. Make sure you call in. The phone number here at the studio is 514-848-7471. That's 514-848-7471. So you guys can call us at 9:39. The reason we picked 9:39 is because the numbers 3 and 9 are very important in Norse mythology.
Yeah.
There you go.
There it is.
So right now we are going to jump into talk, our comic book and TV talk. This week it's going to be just comic books. I'm going to do a super quick one. I'm just going to tell you guys, Nemesis by Mark Millar and McNiven's is amazing. I just read it. It's super interesting. One of my favorite things about Mark Millar is he likes to write stories about villains, not heroes. So if you guys have read Super Crooks, or if you've read Nemesis, if you've read Empress to a lesser extent, but kind of, and Superior is the other one that I read recently. All those kind of hinge more on the villain aspect of a story than the hero aspect. Especially Nemesis. Nemesis is outright people, like, it's about a bad guy who goes around killing people.
Isn't he like the Batman of bad guys?
Yeah.
The name is really in it for
And
you.
he's like, he's,
Yeah.
he's literally a white, like his suit's all white.
Yeah, it's like Batman.
It's literally the opposite.
Yeah,
It's like a yin yang thing.
Exactly. And the story's amazing, and the ending is like, and now I know why people want to make it a movie, because it's just like, what? That's the ending? Oh my god. So yeah, I would highly recommend that. Yeah, I would say just read it, man. It's only 4 issues long, I think, and yeah, it's super quick and it's well written. Of course, the art's beautiful. McNiven's art's always nice. He's also the one that worked on Old Man Logan, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. I have to double check, but I think he worked on the Old Man Logan, the original run. So yeah, check it out. Now to you, gentlemen.
Yes.
The crew, the Squared Idea crew.
No.
I'm guessing since you guys are creators and artists, you are also consumers of comic books. So what have you guys been?
I'm going to start because mine's short. Sorry.
I
I legit, with all the work that we've been doing with the comics, with the writing, we're currently not only working on these 2 that we're releasing, we're doing, I think I have like 5 titles. You have another 3 or 4
I have
titles.
like at least 4 or 5 titles.
I really haven't had a chance to really sit down and like catch up on any comics. Like even my shows are like, I'm so behind on everything, just because it takes so much time to to write, to edit, to draw, to use references, everything. It just takes a lot of time. So work, come home, and get to drawing.
I say he's just lazy.
I completely agree.
So
I don't know where he carries everything else right now. He just sits there and looks pretty.
tell yourself that. So yeah, I literally the only thing I've only been watching Star Trek Discovery, man.
Okay.
Love that show. I've loved every episode so far. That's it.
Something people should be checking out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're a Star Trek fan, especially, because it's really it's amazing. I love the characters. I love the stories. I love how they're kind of blending it in with the movies.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Have you been turned off by any of it so far? Like some of the
I'm not a crazy big Star Trek fan, but I do
Okay.
like the Star Trek. So for me, what they've given me as a fan,
Yeah.
I like. The lore and stuff like that, I'm not
Yeah.
100% into. But
And I'll throw this one to you very quick. Vok, the white Klingon.
mhm.
People are saying now that guys, I'm spoiling. So if you're even if you're in this room, and you haven't seen it, so that new chief of security for Lorca, that young kid that just came on,
Yeah.
a lot of people think that that's Vok, sorry, who had like surgery done, so he appeared human, and that he's infiltrating Starfleet. Oh, so you hadn't heard that? Rumor?
No, I have
Okay.
not heard that.
Thoughts
which is
on that
cool.
though?
Interesting.
Interesting.
Because I really like the Klingons.
Yeah.
I love how they've been doing.
Oh, you like
doing
them?
this.
Okay.
I love them. But again, not that
My
crazy of a
my
Star
only
Trek
thing is
fan,
I
but-
can't understand what they're saying.
Chris,
It's like,
Chris is
Yeah.
actually lying. He
Yeah.
actually has Star Trek pajamas and only Star
I
Trek
do.
models.
I'm wearing Star Trek right now.
I like the idea of him like knitting up.
As I'm enjoying my comics, I'm there in my quilt. Yeah.
He's in his like Star Trek suit, you know.
Okay, that's awesome.
Sorry to expose you, Chris.
So the
God,
story.
it's okay. Now everybody knows
For the
about my Star
Trekkie you
Trek
are.
fascination.
I'm gonna go next because I know
Okay.
that Dave has quite a bit to say on that.
Okay,
subject.
that's fair.
And he,
Save
you
the best
see,
for
you can
last.
see his nodding that he really wants to
Save the best for last.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's true. It's true.
I'm going pretty small right now. I'm working in an alternative high school, and all schools have libraries, so
Yeah.
of course I perused the library. And one that kind of I wouldn't say hit home, but one that was like a big holler back for me. Do you guys know Doug TenNapel?
No.
He's a graphic novelist, does a lot of kind of weird dystopias, and almost every single novel is a very different style. Almost as if like, I don't know, he's in a different area of the world, or he's dating a different woman every single time that he's doing a comic. So the one that I've been reading recently is Dead Island. So it's kind of like this weird dystopia where this family goes into an island and it's just wreaking havoc, and it's a pretty good read. Like
Okay.
and yeah, so that's pretty much it. I've been picking up just anything from Doug TenNapel because it's there. But yeah, that's pretty much it at the moment. That and Jonan Vasquez every so often, you know him?
No.
I did Invader Zim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. he
My
did-
buddy Phil would be interested in that.
Oh yeah, no, he's actually a pretty big inspiration for me because when you look at his work and his comics, the boundaries of how a comic is set up is kind of thrown out the window a little bit, and the subject matter, like it's very dark humor,
Okay.
and it's very rare. Like, I mean, one of his comics is called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Oh, boy.
I mean, give me a break. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
There's only one real subject about it, and it's about Johnny, and he's a homicidal maniac. And you know, going through it, if you have a twisted sense of humor, you know, it's pretty delightful.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty much.
Sounds lovely.
It is. It's very lovely.
It's very posh.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much that. Jonan and Doug.
Okay. So save the best for last.
Yeah,
Right,
right,
they
right,
set
right.
you up that way.
How much time do you have?
Well, you have 7 minutes before we can accept the call for the Thor.
Amazing.
7 minutes, Dave.
So 6:50, I got to work.
Okay.
No, well, I'm one who still collects, you know, like the weekly comic books and I have a
Okay.
pull list and all that. So I'd say like the ones I focus on, I guess, is anything Green Lantern associated, Batman family, especially the Red Hood. I think it's one of the best story arcs.
Oh,
Period.
Red Hood and the Outlaws?
Exactly.
Recent one? Yeah, I hear it is that good.
Well,
it's him, Arsenal, and Starfire. Were the original.
It's him, Arsenal, and Starfire, and then that's evolved now because they actually
Okay.
kind of got like rebooted, so to speak.
Okay.
At least the team did, and it's him. It's one of the girls from Themyscira, Archimedes, I think. So she's like
Okay.
she's just an Amazon, and
Yeah.
Bizarro.
Oh.
yeah, actually it's a very interesting mix. You didn't think it. Like I was reading it, I'm like, this can't possibly be a good mix, and then after an episode, a book or two, you're like, wow, this is a perfect match.
So random.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those, the entire Batman family, Deadpool.
Yeah.
Is basically that's my caveat of books I could literally go on.
For Batman, you're reading current Batman, right?
Yeah.
So I just got to I Am Suicide, where
Okay.
Batman recruits Bronze Tiger, Catwoman, the ventriloquist.
Yeah. Great arc. Great arc.
Is it? Okay.
It's a great arc. It's a little surprising from here and there,
Yeah.
but it's great. And then actually the Batman title itself has been great. Like I was actually collecting Batman, Detective, and a few of the other books.
Yeah.
I ended up collecting them all but Batman because it's the Bear-centric one. They're
Yeah,
actually doing
yeah.
one now. It's Battle of Jokes and Riddles or something like that.
Yeah,
And
that's the one with Joker versus Riddler.
Exactly.
I actually talked about that recently.
it's great.
I love that setup. Like the initial thing that starts it is when Riddler goes to Joker, being like, "We both see ourselves as equal. We should work together." And the Joker obviously does what he does. He
flips on the bird more.
Yeah,
you know, he's just like, "What are you doing here?
But
Why
then-
are you invading my house?"
One of the things I find interesting, Batman shows up and sees Riddler and assumes he's dead, or I guess he checks it and leaves him for dead.
It's one of those things where, like, you know, you see. Well, I don't want to spoil too much. But you see a guy shot up that many times.
Spoil.
Oh, he's like shot up in the stomach.
Yeah,
You're bleeding out of the floor, pal.
he gave, like,
you ain't getting up.
Wow.
Yeah, the fact that Riddler survives, I find interesting. I haven't read that part, and I haven't read past it, so I don't know how. So I still am looking forward to that.
What I really like is actually how, because Riddler starts actually in prison at one point in that part, and how he gets out is very very
I haven't
creepy.
read
Do you care? Or?
No, go ahead. Spoil. It's my bad for not reading it yet.
You see him. He makes friends with one of the police officers or whatever, and he's like, I want to hear the names of all the children of all the other police. So when he decides to like walk out, which he's literally just walking out, and people are pointing guns at him, he just starts naming family members.
Kids. Oh,
And it's really
God.
creepy, and this is this way that you're like, this is beyond creepy. Sorry for anyone who's listening that may have ruined it, but
No, too
trust
bad.
me, the visuals are there.
Yeah.
And
It divides Gotham, from what I
it's
understand.
really good.
I'm actually really looking forward to that. I was trying to figure out what I should accompany the Batman title with. So I like if I was to read Batman, what would you say is the one that has the most crossover or
the most
complements the stories the best?
Well, actually, the one thing that's kind of cool with what I've been reading lately, although each book does reference each other, they're all staying very much like opposite. So if you're going to do something like that, you actually should just look at the solicitations, unfortunately.
Okay.
Because there's no like one direct. Although if you want something that's like just a good accoutrement, if you ask me, Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps,
Yeah.
like that book in general has just been amazing for like months now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna maybe say Mother Panic. I don't know if you've read that.
No, I
Mother
haven't. I
Panic
know
is-
what you're talking about.
Yeah, which I find super interesting. Mother Panic is a character who is based in Gotham, but is completely non-Batman related. The character is also kind of an heiress who... The character, I feel, has a lot of similarities with Batwoman, Cassandra, the whole Kathy Kane backstory of being like rich and an heiress and kind of just being in Gotham and being like, well, you know, Bats does it, I can do it too. But there's a little bit of a weird backstory to her stuff. But Mother Panic is very interesting too. And I like it because of the fact that people meet Mother Panic and are always just like, wait, the Bat doesn't kill him. And it's just like, I'm not with the Bat. Stop bringing him up. I'm not with him. Anyway, so yeah. Skinny, anything you were watching, reading? I know you. I watched Gifted. I caught up, and I caught up on Flash.
Okay, so Gifted, watch it.
Hold on one sec. 2 minutes, people. 2 minutes before you can call in. So.
Oh, okay, so Gifted, great show so far. I have no qualms.
Yeah.
I like the way they're taking it.
Yes, I agree.
I feel like anything's possible with the show.
Yes.
And if you like the X-Men in any kind of way, you'll like the tidbits that they give you.
Yes.
Everybody.
Very interesting.
All the different powers.
Did
and
that guy not? Did Gus not feel like morph to you?
Yes.
Insane?
Yes.
Throwing it out.
I love. You're right. You're right. Every episode is just going to be kind of a hint of characters that we've seen and similar powers and how we can use the powers.
Yeah.
And I do like, and I'm spoiling this once again. If you guys are listening, The Gifted, we're spoiling stuff. But I like that they're kind of doing that whole when the siblings get closer and work together, their powers, their powers work better.
Yeah.
That stuff has been very interesting because in the comic book, if we stick to what people are saying, the Von Struckers, then we might be seeing what Fenris, I think is what we
Fenris
said.
twins, but I don't believe it's going to be those kids. But
No, you know, okay.
Flash didn't have me this season.
This last episode was horrible.
Whoa, hold on, no, they brought back Sugar. I'm
No,
happy
no.
with
See,
that.
I'm happy. So you guys remember YTV? Sugar
Sugar
from YTV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's on the last episode of Flash.
Yeah.
Not,
Still
I mean,
caught
just,
up.
yeah, just for her.
Her character, Hazard. was
Yeah,
it?
but how else are they going to, do her power?
No, the way they did her powers is great, but it's just the story was boring. I wanted more.
You'll see.
Does she still use that voice?
Yeah.
Still, I mean, it's pretty
It's
much for
even.
voice,
Is
man.
it really?
It's deep in
I
now,
thought
but
it was.
Yeah,
she
it's
was
a
doing
little.
it for like the show.
No,
She
that's
smoked
Yeah.
cigars
I
before the
didn't
show.
know
Just to get it deep.
Since leaving YTV, she's gone downhill a little bit.
She's been hanging
Well,
by cigar
she's the
bars.
bride in Mike and Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
Actually,
pointing
when I
fingers
saw
now
that,
already.
when I saw that, I sent it to them.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, guys, you have a movie. Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's actually a fun movie.
Yeah, because Chris used to work in the movie theater, so
Yeah,
every time I went by, he'd be like, "Yo,
Every
Mike,
time
that's
it's
your
like
movie."
Mike and Dave. Ha ha ha.
Guys, it's 9:39. So if you're calling in right now. Oh, we got a caller. If you can just hit the orange button right there. Okay, caller.
We got.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
So caller, as I said, the question is, and if you've read the comic books or if you Googled it today when we mentioned it, the movie Thor Ragnarok is based on 2 Marvel stories. Can you tell me what those 2 stories are?
Well, the first one is Thor Ragnarok.
Yep.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And the second is Planet Hulk.
Yes, Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
There you go.
The winner.
So congratulations. I'm just going to put you on hold because we are going to get to some messages real quick, and then I'll get your information. But I do want to tell fans who are listening, if you guys tuned in to the if you didn't know the answer to the question, he did say it's Thor Ragnarok and Planet Hulk. However, I would have accepted for the Thor side the Unworthy Thor, because the Unworthy Thor story is based on Thor losing his hammer. He has the same haircut, and it's about him being worthy or unworthy, as the story would tell, which I feel Thor Ragnarok touches on a little bit. So we would have also accepted that answer. But Thor Ragnarok as the title and is actually one of the major arcs in the Thor comic book franchise. And Planet Hulk, which was an amazing arc from a couple years, written by Greg Pak a couple years ago. So yeah, we're going to put you on hold, so don't go anywhere, caller.
Cool, sounds good.
And then we're going to get to a quick message here, and we'll come right back and talk to the boys about the big party. Woo! So don't go anywhere, folks. We love y'all.
I actually love what happens when Hulk returns from Planet Hulk.
Yes, World War Hulk. Yeah, very good.
CJLO is a college community radio station broadcasting out of the Wilcox campus of Concordia University in Montreal, Quebec. We broadcast at 1690 kilohertz on the AM dial and have a transmitter with 1,000 watts of power.
Doctor Strange like hands in
The
his
views
hands.
expressed on air do not reflect CJLO. Any views expressed during the show are those of the DJ and not of the station editor or its management.
Yeah, he said he was going to call me. He's just like, I'm going to call in immediately, so I know he's been waiting.
Thanks for your support and keep listening to CJLO 1690 AM, Montreal's underground radio.
I do it like that with the cloud. They all good quality. I don't have the right message loaded. So we're jumping back on air.
Yeah, no.
And we are back. What's up, everybody? Is everyone happy? Everyone? You got a nice little break there, boys?
Yeah, nice little studio over here.
10 seconds?
Very comfortable.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Enough to eat a pickle.
So, as we mentioned, the boys from Squared Idea. So, first off, I want you guys to tell people what Squared Idea is and where people can find it. Because I feel like we've said the name, but I haven't said where to find the information.
Well, how about I'll do the starting, and then you'll tell where to find it?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So basically, it started off, I guess, when we were about 22, 21 years old, hanging out in NDG. He was living maybe 6 blocks away from me, hanging out on my rooftop, just shouting out ideas, talking about, different stories and whatnot. And then at one point, Chris came up with the idea. He's like, in the future, when we have a little bit more money and a little bit more time and we have our careers in place, maybe it'd be cool if we actually started doing something like creating comics, get a company going, and take a shot at it. So then, lo and behold, when we were like 29 years old,
Yeah, I called you and I
Yeah,
was like,
and
Mike,
he goes-
let's do it, man.
he goes, I'm good with my job. And he's like, how are you with your job? And I'm like, I'm loving my job. We both have our ladies. And we're like, okay, well, yeah, things seem stable enough, so let's get into it. And then some of the stories that we talked about in the past, in collision with some of the stuff that we were interested in the present, kind of gave birth to what we are working on now. So as for the aspects of our actual company.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Like we decided that at first we wanted to concentrate on the stories that we had created, that we had come up with, that we love, and that we wanted to tell anybody who wanted to hear it.
Yeah.
So we started talking what kind of themes we're gonna do, what kind of stories. and Mike decided to go and write the Fathom, and I came up with an idea for a comic called Trinity, which I then got in contact with Dave, and I told him the idea, and he really liked it. And from then on, we've just been working on it whenever we had the chance, and now we have a comic.
Yeah, what is it, so 2 years ago?
2 years, yeah.
I still remember that, like when you initially sent me like, what was it, 2-page summary? of it?
Yeah, just like
I
a
was,
quick
I was
summary
working
of
up north
everything.
when you sent it to me. I was
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Working up north in the cold, eh? Dave?
Yeah, in the cold.
Good old,
Where was
good
it? I
old,
was
good
at-
old Kujawac.
No, no, it just has to be that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And eventually, we were talking about it. What we want Square Idea to become is kind of like a bridge for people like us that just want to create comics, want to draw, want to work with other people that are very passionate. And we want Square Idea to kind of be that basis, you know, that unites everybody and helps them out, you know, because a lot of people, they have no idea how to write a story.
Yeah.
So, you know, we that have done it on our own, we've studied it, we've done our research, you know, we can come up, we can come in and we can give you pointers, you know, give you a clear path, and then if when we find an artist that you really like, we can maybe put you guys together so you guys can work on it, and hopefully you can bring it out through,
or
publish it
if-
with us or publish it wherever you want.
Or if they have any blocks when it comes to what they're creating with story-wise, you know, like they have a good concept, but they don't know where to go from there. You know, part of the idea of Squared Idea is, you know, Chris and I kind of started off as the two brains of this, and we wanted to go with the idea of like an idea squared.
Yeah.
So if you look at our logo, it's a nice little light bulb to the top right of it, kind of like mathematics wise, you know. So we wanted to kind of have that idea of, you know, bouncing back and forth.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like Chris was saying, kind of branch off, look for new talent, anybody who kind of needs that extra lift.
Yeah.
You know, because some people, they have great ideas, but they don't know where to go from there.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like you have your kitchen, you have a chicken, you're just like, oh, what do I do with this?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, I'll get a cookbook.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of like that electronic, or, you know, I'm more like a human cookbook, but for stories.
We don't sorry, put it out there. We
I
don't-
read too much zombie stuff, no human cookbook.
Eating brains, cooking humans.
Yeah, I know.
Come prepared.
Should we be worried about the 31st and your obsession with eating brains?
I don't know, man.
I'm worried about my brain.
But yeah. So and Chris is doing his project with Dave right now, and I'm doing my own independent one. I decided to go the zombie route.
Yeah.
It's been really fun so far. I have 25 pages drawn up, and
Nice.
we're gonna be launching it on Patreon on the 31st. We actually already have it set up. We have our tiers all set up. We literally just got to push the launch button,
Nice.
and so ready to rock and roll in that respect.
Okay. And then Trinity?
So, do you want to go? You sure?
You start me.
Okay, I'll start it.
I'll jump in when I
Okay,
can.
so Trinity, again, it's a horror-themed comic. Pretty much the essence of it is an organization hidden in all aspects of life when it comes to cops, nurses, the media, and pretty much they hunt demons on Earth, but these demons are werewolves, vampires, zombies, anything of that type of
Your
mythology.
classic monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but the thing is, the organization is made up of warriors from time, cowboys, Vikings, Shaolins. We have a shaman. We have
Voodoo.
all those guys. So we have this team that works kind of like a Shield or a GI Joe. Sorry.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much their missions, their adventures.
Yeah, and the thing that's been fun about it is, well, I mean, you know, creating something from scratch is always fun, and we actually are technically the origins of the book start with the dawn of time, just like
Oh, nice.
our universe, and we've been able to like mix it around with historic religious facts to try and
That's fun.
weave,
Yeah.
and at the same time to try and spice things up. We took any monster we've introduced. We're like, okay, this is like what people think. How can we tweak it to make it a bit more interesting? I don't
Bring it a little bit to the
Yeah.
modern age. So
Okay.
I guess we can give an example, right?
go for
Werewolf.
it. Yeah.
So
Okay.
our werewolves, for example, they don't just change at a full moon. They change in every aspect of the moon, in every cycle of the moon.
Oh.
So, you know, you can have one that kind of looks, you know, you see him, he's got a little bit of hair, you're like, okay, the hairy guy.
Yeah.
But then once another cycle of the moon comes up, you see him a little bit more like Wolverine, a little bit more hairier, a little bit bigger, a little bit more things. So when the full
for
moon comes,
every moon
Yeah.
cycle,
Exactly.
It's a
it's
different
more.
so
transformation.
they can
cool.
like go out on some cycles, and other cycles they can't
Yeah.
go out because people know like, yo, this guy's in.
Because
Yeah.
imagine like the essence of the moon is more like a meter as opposed to like an on
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, that's really cool.
Yeah. And we're doing that for a lot of the monsters.
Yeah,
that
any
we're
monster we
bringing
bring
into
in,
the,
we're trying to think of some way to
Yeah, because I mean,
elevated.
you're picking the classics of classics, so it's kind of hard to well, this has been done this and this way, and God, Twilight done the worst way. So
yeah, exactly. I don't even. That was like, so there's the not extreme. That was. Twilight. When we get close to that, we're like, we gotta walk the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, so what's the website?
www.squared-idea.com. We have synopsis, we have artwork, we got a tour schedule. Well, of course, we have the launch. We're going to be doing Comic-Con Ottawa and Montreal next year.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So we're very excited. But
got our t-shirts lined up and everything.
Oh, you already did your t-shirts?
Nice.
Our collective is going to be looking into that stuff too, so we'll have to talk to you guys about who you hooked up
Sounds
with.
good.
But man, I mean, guys, that one of the things I always say, and even when I used to host this as a hip hop show, and I used to meet with people who were creative, I always said one of the things I always find so admirable is people who put their energy into creating something new to be a voice for something and then connect with people. Because it's interesting. It's not easy. It's not easy.
No,
it's a lot of work. I mean, like you were saying, Chris, you worked at a movie theater before, and for as long as I know you and I have always talked about pop culture, media, and everything like that, and you like to consume that stuff because it's interesting.
Absolutely.
And the fact that you were saying, the only thing I've really been watching lately is Star Trek Discovery, and it's not because a lack of interest, it's because you are grinding on this project and you're putting your all into it, and that just goes to show. It's just like, man, yeah, I like that. There's that dedication. Because I have a severe television addiction, and I say to people, laugh, but I need help, and I don't know if I'd be able to.
People know that they have a television.
I know, right?
I think everyone does a little bit.
Everybody has it.
But yeah, no, I think it's super cool that you guys are doing this,
Thanks
and
so much.
I mean, go ahead, man.
One quick thing though, also
No,
to remind you,
jump in,
for
exactly.
for the 31st, because my comic is also zombie oriented.
Oh yes.
We're setting up kind of like a photo booth.
Ooh.
So one of the things that I kind of want to do is give a little bit back to fans,
Okay.
where you have an opportunity to kind of get yourself photographed in a position of a zombie. And what I will do is, for everybody who is going to be coming, I'll take their information and we'll link them to our Facebook, and I will post the original pictures of what they're doing. But then I'm going to use their pictures, because I use a lot of models for my drawing.
Okay.
Is I will use people who send their stuff in, potentially, as a model for a zombie in my comic. So in the end, if you would send in a picture to me, let's say,
Yeah.
I'd be able to say, hey, whoever this is, check out page 32.
Oh,
You're on it.
That's so cool.
You know, and you're missing an arm and you're missing an eye, but you're on it. But yeah.
I'm pulling up the flyer just because I wanted to confirm the address. 4685 Notre Dame West.
That sounds correct. Yeah.
That sounds just about right. Actually,
Yeah, 4685 Notre Dame West. October 31st starts at 6 p.m.
Yep.
Yep,
Goes
yep,
on
yep.
till the wee hours of the morning.
And I hear something about a raffle also?
Yeah, so we've all done, I guess, special edition prints. We printed out, we've done character sheets for Trinity. For our main 5 characters, we printed out a nice character sheet with a little bit of background information. You get to see what they look like. And we're going to be raffling those off. It's going to be $1 for 2 tickets, I think.
something like that. And we have 5.
We have 5, and then Mike
I
has
have about 4. I took a couple of pages and maybe 1 or 2 snapshots of, one of my dead.
That's awesome. One of my dead.
Just kind of to give back to everybody that shows up to support us. I guess we'll take this time to thank everybody that has shared.
Yeah, go ahead.
Liked our stuff, just giving us support. Thank you very much, guys. It means the world to us.
Like, doing all of this has been, kind of like a passion and a hobby and now all that jazz. And anybody who's willing to participate in that with us, I mean,
much appreciated.
you're borderline family to us pretty much.
Yeah,
because at this point, we love what we're doing.
Blocks, right?
And if we can share that love, it's great.
That's awesome. Once again, guys, Bar de Courcelles Squared Idea launch party, October 31st. It says 18 plus. I mean, the bar is 18 plus. So that goes without saying. The event starts at 6 p.m. There's going to be some prizes to be won with a raffle. So you guys make sure you hit up the website squared-idea.com. And Trinity, and how do you pronounce it?
Fathom.
Fathom. Okay.
Because the whole idea is, like the fathom is like a degree of depth for the ocean. So I kind of want to use that symbology of how low can humanity sink after an apocalypse would occur. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I went with that. I actually had another name for it, and it didn't sit well with me because it was a made-up word.
Okay.
And after a while, a made-up word, when you say it enough times, you're just like, you know what? That's not a word.
Yeah.
And
Your brand's just like, I don't accept this.
well, yeah, because you say it to people, and you say a title like, oh, it's the New Age, and you're like, oh, cool, that's a cool comic. But if you say, oh,
yeah.
it's the Southern, and you're just like, well, what the hell is that? And you're like,
Yeah,
oh, it's a made-up word.
What is the definition of this word? I'm creating it as we go along.
Yeah, so I kind of decided to go with something a little bit more symbolic, and
By the way, my name is Shakespeare.
yeah.
I almost feel like you should have gone for it and just been like, I'm a modern day Shakespeare. I just invent words.
I invent words.
For
I
God's
got my own
sakes.
dictionary.
Someone invented the word fleek, so you have the right to invent a good word.
I should have gone all Clockwork Orange on that and just created my own vague language.
No, but it's one girl. It's one girl who said fleek. And then pop culture blew it up. Fleek means nothing. I don't even want to tell you. I'm sorry I said the word.
All right, fair enough.
I'm gonna
research
erase
it
that
later.
part. No, don't Google. Don't do
Okay.
it. It's not a bad word, but don't. I'm happy that you guys were ignorant to the word. I actually feel bad for telling it to you now.
We actually, each of us actually have a wall in our room that has ignorance written on it.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this October 31st, 6 p.m., 4685 Notre Dame West at Bob Nicholson. So it's a great idea. Once again, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming through.
Oh, thanks for having us, man. Yeah,
Because
fun.
it's already 9:55.
Holy
Wait,
smokes.
really?
I know.
Wow.
It goes so fast when we do the show.
Awesome.
We have geek news to discuss, but I don't even think we're going to have enough time. I'm just going to read the headlines. So Olivia Munn is going to be starring in Hummingbird. She's taking over for Zoe Saldana. Yeah, Deathstroke movie is in the works, possibly.
Yeah, I heard that today.
People are pretty excited about that. Jeremy Renner is possibly going to be donning the Ronin costume in the Avengers movie.
About time. No way.
I know, right? Yeah. I don't think. Someone posted set photos of him wearing black with like just gold trim. It's one of those things where sometimes I feel like they know you guys are taking pictures, so they set it up so that you can just talk.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They just want you guys to be talking. They want you to talk because this is exactly what happens.
Yeah.
We're here now talking about it, and for all we know, he's not going to be donning the Ronin costume whatsoever.
Oh,
It's just his pajama.
Oh no!
Yeah. Thanos is gonna kill that family.
Oh god! It's so dark.
It's his clothing whenever he goes to make a grilled cheese.
Bad Boys TV series starring Gabrielle Union in the possible works. Mind you, she also recently just signed up to work with LeBron to do another series that people think she might star in. So Gabrielle Union's name is just being tossed around a lot for
Give me Bad
projects.
Boys 3.
I know, yeah, people have been asking for that for a minute now. So I don't know why we're not just getting that. Other things that are super interesting. D'Onofrio has been is
Coming back.
season 3 of Daredevil.
Yeah, so excited.
It's gonna be
Cannot
crazy.
wait for that.
He
That
was
and
so
Punisher, I
good.
cannot wait.
Yeah, Punisher. Man, so Punisher's what, the 17th, November 17th?
17th, yeah.
Yeah, officially coming out. Supposedly
Locking
not
myself in my room.
Sorry, what?
I said I'm locking myself in my room.
Yeah, I mean, the actor, John Bernthal?
Bernthal.
It's just, God, he just does it so well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I thought Jane did a good job, but
Dirty Laundry.
yeah, which is
Dirty
out.
Laundry.
which was
That was
amazing.
honestly, that was great. That was honestly.
But it's like you watch this one and you're just like, this is Punisher for 2017.
I don't know.
He's
It's like an
everything for the role.
evolution of the character, and finally they get it right.
Yeah.
you know?
Because what was the other one?
Warzone.
Oh,
Did you ever
God.
see the Dolph Lundgren?
Never.
Punisher?
No, I haven't seen.
You haven't seen that?
That
The
is
Dolph Lundgren? No, I haven't seen it.
1980s gold, my friend.
Yeah.
No.
Everyone's
Yeah.
seen that.
I've honestly never seen it.
Have you seen the old Captain America?
No, I've seen clips of that.
Yeah,
Did you ever
one
see
of,
the-
one of his tricks was to run away from a car and then run back to it in order to fool the person into leaving their
And
car.
then take the car and leave.
And then take the car and leave.
Oh,
like
amazing.
lose them.
Yeah.
It sounds ridiculous, but that is exactly the way.
And he does it twice.
He
Right?
does it twice.
He does it
Oh.
twice.
So Captain America steals cars, and he tricks people into letting them steal.
But if we're gonna mention bad movies, the Fantastic Four 1994 straight to VHS.
Oh,
Nobody
I've heard
can
about
even
this.
find
I've never
that.
seen it.
Doom talks with his hands when he says everything. He literally, when he says you have 12 hours, he literally like
Writes out 12.
hours with his fingers.
Why? Was it for?
He's like, it's as if because he's sending a video to like the government or whatever, and he's like, I want 12. Like, just in case you don't understand my muffled voice, it's 12.
Oh,
It's
man.
really hilarious.
Okay, guys, we gotta wrap. Unfortunately, we have to wrap it up because it's the end of the show. It's the end of the show. That's how quick an hour goes. So I want to thank you guys once again for coming through.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you guys for having
Yeah,
us.
it was a
I want to
pleasure,
tell
man.
people to, I posted on the website, so franklinarmstrong.com. The flyer is there. If you guys go to the website, just go on the front page. It says Squared Idea launch party for the Fathom and Trinity. Right there on the front page. It's there.
Bang, bang, boom.
Super
See
easy.
you there.
And then that's it. So do you guys want to say goodbye to the people? And,
Well, yeah, and if you come, please, if you want to get your picture taken, come in as much zombie makeup as you can.
Yeah.
Because the more gruesome you are, the better it's going to be. Or if you just want to pose away.
Awesome.
And yeah, well, hopefully we'll see you there. And thanks for coming out. And thanks
Yeah.
for listening to the show.
Yeah. Geektastiq Cypher.
Yeah, there
Cool.
you go.
Thank you guys for having us.
Our pleasure.
This was awesome. And to everybody that's going to come, very excited to see you. Very excited to celebrate with you. And have a good night.
There you go. Let's get anything. So the usual message: don't drink and drive. Always wear your Jimmy caps because safe sex is good sex. That's the end of the show, kids. Peace. We'll be back next week. So also check us out, franklinarmstrong.com. That's the website. That's where everything is. We love y'all.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
Ciao.